Russian Industrialist International Forum. St. Petersburg is not only the cultural capital of Russia, but also the fourth largest city in Europe and has unique scientific and technical potential. Over the last 14 years, the Russian Industrialist International Industrial Forum has demonstrated the best examples of machines and technologies necessary to Russia in the 21st century in the pavilions of the LENEXPO Exhibition Complex. Machine building and metal processing, radio electronics and instrument making, mechatronics and robotics are just some of the industrial segments which are traditionally represented at the exhibition. The Russian Industrialist International Forum is making a strong bid to make St. Petersburg Russia's leader in innovational development. We have to work very hard to achieve our goals. There are lots of components to this kind of success, including a high level of education, creating the necessary conditions for implementing private initiatives, providing help to startups, and making comfortable conditions for large companies, especially foreign ones which want to grow here. This integrated approach makes the necessary conditions for innovational development and for attracting investments. The need for quickening the pace of implementing innovations, which President Dmitry Medvedev has insisted on, led LENEXPO to hold the 14th International Russian Industrialist Forum in 2010, together with another large-scale event, the Third International Innovation Forum. In the organizers' opinion, the united exhibition and the intense Congress schedule made it easier to search for solutions at modernizing production, as well as implementing innovative scenarios for economic development. There are obvious pluses for the economy in growth of labor productivity and for the state in the form of new sources of income for the budget, and citizens get a better standard of living. Development of the country, modernization, and an innovational economy. All of that is for the good and in the interest of each individual, in the interest of people living today. People won't understand the importance of modernization until they see the difference in their wallets. Before the beginning of the plenary session dedicated to the opening of the Russian Industrialist International Forum, the honored guests, headed by Boris Gryzlov, got the chance to visit the stands of many companies presenting their inventions in various economic sectors. The organizers grouped the forum participants by economic sector in 2010, making it possible for business partners to find each other in just minutes. This year, in our opinion, the exhibition is much more interesting than in the past. There are a lot more guests because they can really find inventions that are in demand by St. Petersburg industrial companies and by the city of St. Petersburg. The exhibition is well organized as a whole. The organizers of the Russian Industrialist International Industrial Forum have worked constantly to improve both the exhibition and the business part of the program over the forum's 14-year history. The exhibition, besides being practical, should also be memorable. And in 2010, despite the clear direction of the Industrial Forum towards future events, the zest of the exhibition came from events dedicated to the 40-year anniversary of the successful launch of the Russian Moon Research Vehicle. In memory of this event, there was a full-scale reproduction of the vehicle which worked on the moon in 1970. First of all, so to speak, this represents our city's connection to the creation of such an amazing example of space technology as the Moon Research Vehicle. That means a lot. And secondly, 40 years is a real achievement. Time will tell if industrial equipment being used at the beginning of the 21st century will go down in history. But the important thing is that scientific thought is working and is providing results. And not just in industry, but in medicine too. One example is the unique rehabilitation complex for immobile patients. We crossed the whole path from having the original idea to making an industrial sample, and now we're ready to produce up to 100 rehabilitation complexes a month. In our estimates, at present the market has demand for about 80,000 such complexes. The most important criterion for the success of the exhibition is the number of visitors. Despite the fact that the Russian industrialist is oriented at a professional audience to a large degree, the exposition in LENEXPO drew great interest from Petersburg residents, and from young people in particular. We have to get the most innovative youths, the young people who are most creative, to create and bring their projects to fruition. This doesn't mean that the things they make will immediately have commercial use, but when implementing their ideas, making specific products, they gain skills and learn about technological entrepreneurship. So this is one of the most important stages of the educational process. The fact that the Russian industrialist could gather innovators from several generations under one roof is definitely a major achievement on the part of the organizer. Young people who are taking their first steps in business or science got the chance to speak with their older colleagues on equal terms, and even to argue with them to some degree, since the Industrial Forum promotes discussion. If it weren't for this exhibition, then we wouldn't have the opportunity to share both our results and our opinions. We wouldn't have the chance to perform some criteria and evaluations of one or another product that's already on the verge of coming on the market. After all, there's another positive thing here too. There are customers who sign contracts for new products with the producers. That's basically a strong movement forward. Real innovation is when innovations turn into money, and science turns into money, and then the whole cycle is repeated by making reinvestments back into new development. In order to successfully fulfill our function as a connecting link between science and producers, and for the comfort of our participants and guests, the Russian Industrialist Forum implemented a special exchange of business contacts, where all interested could hold partnership negotiations. Our company participates here most of all because we work in the innovation field. I think that if an organization has the opportunity to take part in such exhibitions, then it should do so. This is a great chance to have communication with people, with other exhibitors, and we see that we have to perfect our product, to keep moving forward. In St. Petersburg, we have to develop ship construction, and we have to develop industry in the field of microelectronics. St. Petersburg is the second capital of Russia and Russia's gate to Europe. The Russian Industrialist International Industrial Forum is so important to the development of St. Petersburg that not even the world financial crisis could force the organizers to give up the idea of conducting the event. And today, when the world financial situation has stabilized, innovations and unusual economic solutions are as important as ever. Attendance at the forum increased by 25%, which proves that the rumors that Russian industry is dying are just rumors. We had 400 companies from 15 countries and enormous innovational discussions where participants discussed very important questions about how to implement those innovations made in St. Petersburg today into our industry. There is a huge number of clusters in our city today in machine building, robotics, space technologies, and atomic technologies. It was great to see a whole pavilion dedicated to professional technical education. The biggest problem today is personnel. I'm happy to say that more than 6,000 school students attended our exhibition, and I hope that when seeing excellent new equipment in our moon research vehicle, they thought hard and many of them decided to get a technical profession. That's one of the biggest achievements and goals that our exhibition can have. Obviously, it's not possible to tally all the results of the Russian Industrialist 14th International Industrial Forum right after the forum ended. The process of implementing any idea, like implementing a signed contract, always takes some time. But we can say one thing for sure. Dmitry Medvedev's call for the development of Russian industry has been heard in St. Petersburg. And if not today, then tomorrow we will be witnesses to a new era in the Russian economy.